Listen, I'm Jake, 29, from a small town in the Midwest. My family's never been the warm and fuzzy type, but last Christmas? That was a whole new level of cold. I hadn't been around much for a while, maybe a year, because things with my old man, Tom, got real tense. To give you the quick version, at the last 4th of July barbecue, he called me out in front of everybody, saying I was the reason his business was tanking. Apparently, I betrayed him by not investing my savings into his latest can't-fail scheme. It was a shady deal, and I'm not dumb enough to throw my money into a fire. He lost it, and the family group chat turned into a war zone for weeks. They called me selfish, said I didn't care about family. I muted the whole thing, blocked most of them, and only got a few texts from my sister, Ellie, since. So, Christmas rolls around, and I'm sitting alone in my apartment, feeling like maybe I should give it a shot. See if the dust has settled. I grab a fancy bottle of whiskey, Dad's favorite brand, cost me half a paycheck, and drive over to their place. I'm thinking maybe it'll smooth things over. I pull up, and Dad opens the door. Doesn't even look me in the eye, just sighs and says, "Well, look who decided to grace us with his presence." Like I'm some stray dog. I shrug it off, step inside, and it's clear they didn't plan for me. The dining room table's packed, everyone's already eating, and there's no extra chair, no plate, nothing. My mom, Linda, barely glances up. She leans over and mutters, "Grab whatever's left in the kitchen. We didn't know you were coming." Then she goes back to her coffee like I'm not even there. My cousin Mitch, who's always got something to say, mumbles under his breath, "What's he doing here?" Nobody laughs, nobody corrects him. It's just this heavy, awkward silence. Ellie's at the far end of the table, looking like she's about to bolt. I set the whiskey on the counter and stand there, waiting for someone to say something, anything. But it's like I'm invisible. No one offers a seat. No one even pretends to care. I'm thinking, is this really how it's gonna be? I mean, I drove an hour, spent a chunk of change on that whiskey, and this is what I get? Part of me wants to just sit down, force my way in, but I'm done begging for a spot at their table. So I look around, take it all in, and say, "Don't worry, I'm not sticking around. But you'll remember I was here." I don't yell, don't make a scene. I just grab my coat, walk out, and leave the whiskey behind. Nobody follows me. I hear Mitch chuckle, Mom pours another coffee, and that's it. I get in my truck, drive around for a bit, wondering if I should go back and say something else. But I don't. I text Ellie, "You okay?" No reply. I get home, toss my keys on the table, and just sit there. It's not even anger, just this empty feeling, like I've been erased. I know why they treat me like this. It's always been this way. Dad's the king of the family, and if you don't kiss the ring, you're out. He can't stand that I call him on his nonsense. Mom's his cheerleader, always has been. Ellie tries to keep the peace, but she gets drowned out. The rest of them, Mitch, my Aunt Carol, my cousin Stacy, they just go along to keep things easy. They'd rather act like I don't exist than deal with the mess of standing up for me. That Christmas was the last straw. I'm not their punching bag anymore. I'm not gonna crawl back and play nice just to make them comfortable. I meant what I said. They're gonna remember I showed up. I've got plans, and they're not gonna like what's coming. If you've ever been the odd man out in your own family, you get it. Sometimes, you gotta draw a line. I'll let you know how it plays out. So, I'm back home after that Christmas disaster, staring at the ceiling like it's gonna give me answers. My phone's silent, no calls, no texts, not even from Ellie. I keep replaying the whole thing in my head. Dad's sneer, Mom's half-hearted whisper, Mitch's dumb comment, and that table full of people who didn't even look at me. It's like I was a ghost in my own family's house. I'm not gonna lie, part of me wonders if I should have stayed, maybe pushed back, made them deal with me. But then I think, why? Why do I gotta beg for them to act like I matter? I'm done with that noise. A couple weeks go by, and I'm just living my life. Work, gym, the usual. But that Christmas keeps gnawing at me. I can still see Ellie's face, all pale and tense, like she was caught between me and them. I shoot her another text, something simple like, "Hey, you good?" Still nothing. I'm starting to think maybe she's picked a side, and it ain't mine. That stings more than I expect. Ellie's always been the one who at least tries to bridge the gap, you know? But maybe even she's fed up with me. Then, out of nowhere, I get a call from my Uncle Ray. He's not part of the main family drama, lives a couple states over, keeps to himself. We don't talk much, but he's always been straight with me. He asks how I'm holding up, says he heard about Christmas from Ellie. I'm like, yeah, it was a real party. I tell him the whole story, Dad's attitude, Mom's cold shoulder, the whole table acting like I was invisible. Ray just listens, doesn't interrupt. When I'm done, he says, "Jake, your dad's always been a bulldozer. He don't like it when people don't fall in line. But you showing up? That took guts." I'm not gonna lie, hearing that feels good. Like, at least someone gets it. Ray mentions Dad's been having some money troubles, nothing new. Tom's always been a big talker with big plans that don't pan out. But Ray says it's worse this time. Something about a loan he took out against the family cabin, this old place my grandpa left us. It's not a palace, but it's been in the family forever, and Dad's always going on about preserving the legacy. Ray doesn't have details, just says Dad's been dodging calls from some bank. I file that away, not sure what to make of it. After we hang up, I start thinking. Dad's always been reckless with money, acting like he's one deal away from hitting it big. I remember overhearing him last summer, arguing on the phone about missed payments. I didn't think much of it then, but now it's clicking. If he's in deep with the cabin, that's a big deal. That place is like his pride and joy, the one thing he holds over everybody's heads. I start poking around online, just out of curiosity. Public records are a thing, right? Sure enough, I find a notice about a lien on the cabin. It's real, and it's bad. Dad's in over his head, and if he doesn't pay up, that cabin's gone. I sit on that for a few days, not sure what to do with it. Part of me wants to let it go, let him crash and burn. He's been treating me like garbage for years, so why should I care? But another part of me, this dumb, stubborn part, starts thinking about how I could use this. Not to help him, but to make him see I'm not the screw-up he thinks I am. I know a guy from work, Nate, who's been flipping properties on the side. He's always talking about real estate deals, so I hit him up, keep it casual. I ask if he's heard about any properties in trouble around here. He says, yeah, man, banks are circling a few places. Owners can't keep up. You got something specific in mind? I mentioned the cabin, play it cool. He sends me a link to an auction notice. My stomach drops. It's real. The cabin's on the block. Now I'm at a crossroads. I could just let it happen. Let the bank take it. Let Dad deal with the fallout. He'd probably blame me anyway, say I should have bailed him out. But I'm done being the family doormat. I'm not going to save him, but I'm not going to just sit here either. I start thinking maybe I can turn this around, make them feel what it's like to be on the outside. I tell myself, Jake, you said they'd remember you were there. Time to make good on that. I don't have a plan yet, but I know I'm not letting this slide. They're going to learn what happens when you push someone too far. All right, so I'm sitting on this bombshell about the family cabin being on the chopping block. My head's spinning, but I'm not just going to let it slide. I've been chewing on what to do for days, and I'm starting to see a way to flip this whole thing on Dad. Not to save his sorry hide, but to make him and the rest of them feel what it's like to be out in the cold, like they made me feel at Christmas. I'm done being the guy they kick around. Time to show them I'm not invisible. I call up Nate, my buddy from work who's into real estate. He's a straight shooter, doesn't ask too many questions. I tell him I'm curious about buying distressed property, like the cabin. He laughs and says, man, you're getting into the deep end. You got the cash for this. I've been saving for years, living cheap, not blowing my money on dumb stuff like Dad does. I tell Nate I'm serious, and he walks me through it. Turns out, the bank's ready to sell the debt on the cabin to anyone with enough money and the right paperwork. It's not illegal, not shady, just business. I spend a week crunching numbers, talking to the bank, and filling out forms. It's a chunk of my savings, but I pull the trigger. I buy the debt. Just like that, I'm the one holding the leash on Dad's precious cabin. I don't tell anyone, not even Ellie. I wanted to hit them like a freight train. The bank sends the official notice to Dad through proper channels, all legit. I'm sitting in my apartment when I know it's landed, and sure enough, my phone lights up. Ellie texts first, Jake, what did you do? Dad's freaking out. I don't reply right away. Then Dad calls, leaves a voicemail that's just him yelling. You think you're slick? You're gonna ruin us. I don't pick up. I'm keeping this clean, all in writing. No room for them to twist my words. A couple days later, Dad shows up at my place. I'm not surprised. He's not the type to let this go quietly. He's banging on my door like he's gonna break it down. I open it, and he's red in the face, shaking. What the hell's wrong with you? He screams. You trying to destroy this family? He steps toward me, and I hold my ground, tell him to back off. He's ranting about how I've always been a disappointment, how I'm jealous of his success, how I'm a traitor. I just let him go off, standing there with my arms crossed. At one point, he raises his hand like he's gonna hit something, maybe me, maybe the wall. I step back and say, you touch me, I'm calling the cops. He freezes, then storms out, slamming the door so hard my neighbor's dog starts barking. Mom calls later, her voice all icy, like she's reading from a script. Jake, this is a family matter. You're tearing us apart. I tell her, pay what you owe, or the cabin's gone. That's how it works. She hangs up without another word. The group chat's blowing up now. Mitch sends a voice message calling me a lowlife. Aunt Carol texts that I'm no better than a thief. Stacy posts some vague nonsense on social media about family betrayal, and I know it's about me. Ellie's the only one trying to stay neutral, texting me stuff like, can we just talk? There's got to be a way to fix this. I tell her, they made their bed. I'm not the bad guy here. She doesn't push, but I can tell she's torn. I'm not doing this because I want the cabin. I don't care about owning it. This is about them knowing I'm not the pushover they think. They froze me out, acted like I was nothing, and now they're gonna feel what it's like when the tables turn. I know some folks might think I'm going too far, but you weren't there at that Christmas table. You didn't see how they looked right through me. I warned them they'd remember I was there, and I'm making good on that promise. The deadline's coming up, and I'm not budging. Dad's got no way to pay. He's been drowning in debt for years, and everyone knows it. They're scrambling, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm ready for whatever they throw at me next. This ain't over, and I'm betting it's gonna get uglier before it's done. So, I'm holding the debt on the cabin, and it's like I lit a match under the family. They're coming at me from all angles now, and it's getting wild. My phone's buzzing nonstop, texts, calls, voicemails, you name it. I'm trying to keep my cool, but man, it's like they're taking turns trying to break me. Dad's not the only one losing it. The whole crew's in on it, and they're not holding back. First up, Mom tries a new angle. She calls me, and instead of the cold, scripted tone, she's all emotional, voice shaking. Jake, how could you do this to us? This cabin's all we have left of your grandpa. She's laying it on thick, talking about family memories, how I'm ripping their hearts out. I'm not gonna lie, it gets to me for a second, but then I remember her sipping her coffee at Christmas, not even looking at me. I tell her, Mom, this is business. Pay the debt, or the cabin's gone. She starts crying, says I'm heartless, and hangs up. I sit there, staring at my phone, feeling like maybe I'm the bad guy. But then I shake it off. They don't get to play the victim after treating me like dirt. Next, Mitch decides he's gonna be the tough guy. He shows up at my apartment one night, banging on the door like he's auditioning for a cop show. I open it, and he's all puffed up, yelling about how I'm a disgrace, how Grandpa would roll over in his grave. He's so close I can smell the beer on his breath. I tell him, Mitch, you got 10 seconds to get out of my face. He tries to shove past me, like he's gonna storm my place. I push him back, hard, and say, try me, and I'm calling the cops. He backs off, muttering curses, and leaves. The next day, he's texting me, saying he's gonna fix this, and I better watch my back. I block him. Ain't got time for his nonsense. Aunt Carol's up next, and she goes for the guilt trip. She leaves a voicemail, all dramatic, saying, Jake, you're gonna regret this when you're old and alone. Family's all you got, and you're throwing it away. She posts on Facebook about loyalty and tags Mom and Stacy. I see it before she deletes it, and I'm just rolling my eyes. Like, really? You didn't say a word when I was standing there at Christmas, and now you're preaching about family? I don't bother responding. Let her stew. Stacy, my cousin, tries to play the sneaky card. She texts me, acting all friendly, like, hey, Jake, can we talk? I don't get what's going on. I know she's fishing, trying to get me to spill so she can run back to the others. I reply, nothing to talk about. Pay the debt, or the cabin's gone. She doesn't text back, but I see her liking Mitch's dumb post online, so I know where she stands. Ellie's still trying to play peacemaker, and it's breaking my heart a little. She shows up at my place one morning, looking like she hasn't slept in days. She's begging me to give Dad more time, says he's falling apart, Mom's not handling it, and the family's fighting nonstop. I tell her, Ellie, they made this mess. Why's it on me to fix it? She starts tearing up, says she's stuck in the middle, doesn't know what to do. I feel bad, but I'm not backing down. I tell her, they've got 30 days. That's it. She leaves, and I feel like garbage, but I'm not caving just because she's caught in the crossfire. The group chat's a circus now. Dad's sending walls of text, half threats, half begging. One minute he's saying he'll sue me, the next he's promising to pay if I just give him a break. Mitch is posting memes about snakes in the grass. Carol's quoting Bible verses about forgiveness, which is rich coming from her. I mute the whole thing. I'm keeping everything through email or official channels now, so they can't twist my words later. Here's the thing. I know they can't pay. Dad's been bleeding money for years, and the rest of them aren't exactly rolling in it either. They're just hoping if they yell loud enough, I'll fold. But I'm not that guy anymore. I said they'd remember I showed up at Christmas, and I'm in it. The deadline's closing in, and I'm ready for whatever they throw next. It's like a storm's brewing, and I'm just waiting to see who cracks first. Things are getting crazier by the day, and I'm just trying to hold the line. The family's throwing everything they've got at me, like if they scream loud enough, I'll hand over the cabin debt and pretend Christmas never happened. My phone's a war zone, missed calls, texts, voicemails piling up like junk mail. I'm keeping it together, but it's like walking through a hailstorm. They're not just mad, they're desperate, and it's showing. Dad's the worst. He's blowing up my phone with texts that swing from threats to guilt trips. One says, you're no son of mine, and the next is, just give me more time, Jake, I'll make it right. I don't bite. I reply once, 30 days. Pay or lose the cabin. He sends back a string of curses, then goes quiet for a bit. I know he's scheming, but he's got no cards left to play. Mom's not much better. She leaves voicemails that start soft. All, Jake, please, this is breaking us, and end with her snapping. You're killing your father. I don't call back. I can't let her tears pull me under, not after they left me standing alone at that table. Mitch tries to escalate. He shows up at my place again, this time with Stacy in tow, like she's his backup. I open the door, and he's yelling before I can say a word. You think you're tough, huh? You're tearing this family apart. Stacy's just standing there, arms crossed, nodding like she's in on it. I tell them, get off my porch, or I'm calling the cops. Mitch steps forward, chest puffed out, but I don't budge. Stacy grabs his arm, pulls him back, and they leave, but not before he spits on my doorstep. Classy. I block both their numbers after that. I'm done with their drama. Aunt Carol organizes a family meeting at her house, and Ellie begs me to show up. Against my better judgment, I go, mostly for Ellie. Big mistake. I walk in, and it's like a firing squad. Dad's pacing, Mom's crying, Mitch is glaring, and Carol's got this holier-than-thou look. Before I can sit down, Dad's in my face, shouting about how I've humiliated him, how I'm a traitor. Mitch chimes in, calling me a greedy bastard. I keep my cool and say, this is simple. Pay the debt, or the cabin's gone. I'm not here to negotiate. Mom starts sobbing louder, and Carol tries to play mediator, saying, let's just talk this out. I shake my head, tell them, you had your chance to talk at Christmas. I'm done. I walk out, ignoring Ellie's pleas to stay. Mitch follows me to the driveway, tries to grab my arm. I shake him off and keep walking. I'm not playing their game anymore. Back home, I mute the group chat for good. It's just noise now, Carol's sermons, Stacy's passive-aggressive jabs, Dad's rants. Ellie's still texting, long messages about how she's caught in the middle, how Dad's not sleeping, how Mom's falling apart. I feel for her, but I tell her, I'm not the one who put you there. They did. She doesn't reply, and that hurts. But I can't fix everything. The deadline's a week away, and I know they're out of moves. I'm ready to see this through, no matter how messy it gets. The deadline day comes, and it's like the air's thicker. I'm sitting in my apartment, waiting for something, maybe a miracle where Dad pulls through. Maybe another round of their yelling. My phone's been quiet for once, which is almost worse. It's like the calm before a tornado. I know they didn't pay. I checked with the bank, and there's no deposit, no last-minute save. The cabin's mine to do with as I please, and I'm not gonna lie, it feels heavy. Ellie breaks the silence with a call. She's sobbing so hard I can barely understand her. Jake, it's over. Dad's locked himself in his office. Mom's not talking to anyone. They're losing it. She's begging me to stop, to give them another chance, says the family's falling apart. I feel a knot in my gut, but I tell her, Ellie, they did this to themselves. I gave them 30 days. She cries harder, says she can't go back home, asks if she can crash at my place. I say yeah, because she's the only one who's ever tried to have my back, even if it's messy. An hour later, Dad texts, you happy now? You destroyed us. It's short, but it's like a punch. Mom follows up with a voicemail, her voice flat. You got what you wanted, Jake. I hope you can live with it. I don't respond. Mitch posts in the group chat a screenshot of the foreclosure notice, with a caption, thanks, Jake. Carol's commenting about shameful blood. I don't even read the rest. I'm done with their noise. I call Nate, my real estate guy, and tell him I'm ready to sell the debt. He's got a buyer lined up, some investor looking to flip the cabin. I sign the papers, and it's done. The cabin's out of my hands, and I get a chunk of cash back, not enough to make me rich, but enough to know I came out ahead. The family gets a new notice, 60 days to vacate. I don't send it myself. It's all through the bank, clean and official. That night, Ellie shows up at my door, looking like she's been through a war. Her eyes are red, her jacket's half-zipped, and she's carrying a duffel bag. She collapses on my couch, doesn't say much, just scrolls her phone in silence. I let her be. I know she's stuck between me and them, and I hate that, but I'm not backing down. The family's imploding, and they're all pointing fingers at me, but I'm not the one who gambled the cabin away. That's on Dad. I thought I'd feel some kind of win, like I'd finally shown them. But it's just quiet. No victory, no regret, just this weird emptiness. I said they'd remember I was at Christmas, and now they will. But it's not as satisfying as I thought. Still, I'm not turning back. They made their choices, and now they live with them. It's been a couple weeks since I sold the cabin debt, and things are still a mess, but it's a different kind now. The family's not banging on my door anymore, not blowing up my phone. It's like they've run out of steam, or maybe they're just licking their wounds. Ellie's still crashing on my couch, and we don't talk much about it. She's been quiet, mostly keeping to herself, but I can tell she's hurting. I hate that she's caught in this, but I don't know how to fix it without undoing everything I've done. And I'm not doing that. Dad tried one last time. He showed up outside my building, just sitting in his truck for hours. I watched from my window, waiting for him to make a move, but he didn't. Just sat there, staring at nothing, then drove off. I haven't heard from him since. Mom sent one final text. You broke this family, Jake. I hope you're proud. I didn't reply. Mitch and Stacy are still posting cryptic nonsense online, but it's dying down. Carol's gone silent, probably praying for my soul, or whatever. The group chat's dead now, no one's posted in days. I hear through a friend that the family's splitting apart. Mitch and Stacy are sticking with Dad, but some of the younger cousins are starting to whisper that maybe I wasn't all wrong. They're saying Dad's been reckless for years, dragging everyone down with him. I don't care if they're on my side or not. This wasn't about winning them over. It was about showing them you can't treat someone like garbage and expect them to keep taking it. Ellie finally opens up one night, sitting on my couch with a cup of coffee. She says Dad's talking about moving away, starting over somewhere else. Mom's not handling it, shutting everyone out. Ellie's thinking about getting her own place, getting some distance. She looks at me and says, Jake, I get why you did it, but it hurts. I just wish it didn't end like this. I nod, don't say much. What's there to say? I didn't want to hurt her, but I couldn't keep being the family's punching bag. I'm not going to pretend I feel great about all this. I thought I'd feel like I won, like I finally got even. But it's just nothing. Like I'm standing in the wreckage, and there's no victory, just silence. The cabin's gone, sold to some stranger who'll probably tear it down. The money's in my bank, but it doesn't fill the hole. I said they'd remember I showed up at Christmas, and they will. Every time they think of that cabin, they'll think of me. But it's not the triumph I expected. I'm moving on, though. Got my own life to live, my own plans. Ellie's still here, and maybe we'll figure out how to be okay. The rest of them? They can sort out their own mess. I'm not the villain they're making me out to be, but I'm not their savior either. They pushed me out, and now they're dealing with the fallout. That's how it goes.